Hello everyone and welcome back to ZA. In today's video, where we'll be giving you some personal finance tips that will save you some headaches in the short term and in the long run should help you with your ultimate goal of increasing your overall wealth. If you're living paycheck to paycheck with nothing to show at the end of the month, then chances are you need to manage your money better. And even if your life isn't full of money problems, it's likely that you could use some money management advice. It's time to dive in, brush up on your personal finance knowledge, and look at 10 methods to handle your money better, because if you haven't subscribed yet, you are missing out. Number 1. Create a monthly budget. Of all the suggestions on this list, this is the most important, and we'll refer back to it time and time again. In fact, it should go without saying that you already know you should be doing this, but very few people actually do. The reason isn't just that most people find it boring to go through a lot of numbers, it's also because looking at amounts you'll have to part with can be uncomfortable, and many people try to avoid doing it. This should incorporate living expenses and utility expenditures. How much you anticipate spending on necessities like food, also transportation costs for your vehicle or public transportation, and in any additional regular payments you must make, such as insurance subscriptions or loan repayments, as well as leisure, dining, entertainment, travel, sports, and other expenses that are simple to overlook. If your expenses exceed your income, you will need to find ways to reduce them. If you're lucky, you'll have more income than expenses, in which case you could either increase your savings target or you could justify a little extravagance and increase it. Also, on the expenses side, set a target for savings as well as a small but regular contribution to an emergency fund. We'll touch on these later. Number 2. Here's a common error: to review your budget before making significant purchases. Don't assume you have the discretionary income for it just because you want to buy something nice, like a new laptop for the holidays or an expensive gift, and you just got paid, so you know you have the money in the bank to cover it. Basic living expenditures will require a significant portion of the money in the bank, which should obviously be included in your budget. Examine your spending plan to see if you can account for the expense in the appropriate category. If you're considering an expensive vacation and your leisure budget covers it, go ahead and book it. However, if it doesn't, paying for it at the end of the month will put a hole in your budget. The solution is to save up for it and include the amount you're saving each month in your budget. Determine how much you can set aside for it each month and how long it will take you to save up. While you're saving, you might even decide you do want to take the expensive vacation after all. Number 3. Keep track of smaller expenses because they can add up quickly and leave you in debt when your next paycheck arrives. We frequently forget to account for things like a few venti lattes here, a meal out there, and a gift for a relative there, but they really do add up. When you hear people complain that they don't know where their money goes, it's usually on a lot of small to medium purchases they skip. Keep track of everything and you'll soon be able to see where your money is going and how you can cut back on things you don't actually need. If you've spent your entire monthly leisure budget on just 2 lunches out, you know you need to make some changes. Number 4. Get your debt under control, or better yet, eliminate it. But if you already have debts, the first step is to manage them. First, avoid taking on any additional debt, especially credit card debt that is still owed because the interest rates are so high. If you are having trouble paying off your credit card debt, stop using it altogether. Next, set up a schedule for all of your debt payments and make sure you pay them on time. At the very least, make the minimum payments, but if you can afford more. Number 5. Keep track of monthly payments and limit them. This may include subscriptions you don't really need or aren't going to use that much, such as an inactive gym membership or in-app purchases you made that you may have used only once and then forgotten about. Keep in mind that more and more companies are switching to subscription-based business models because they understand that even if a small customer base, they can still make a profit. Number 6. Have an emergency fund. Keep some money aside for unforeseen expenses because you never know when you'll need it. For example, if you need to buy a piece of equipment because something broke, or if you have unexpected medical costs that you aren't covered by insurance, you won't have to dip into other expenses because you'll be prepared. However, if you have some money set aside for these, you won't be out of luck. You could contribute a small amount each month and only withdraw when necessary. Number 7, the end goal is to increase your wealth, so keeping money in a bank account isn't going to help you with that since interest rates on bank accounts are almost zero. Instead, make your money work for you by investing in bonds, a portfolio of stocks, or real estate. You won't be able to do this without disposable income, which will come from your savings, which is why you should set a monthly savings goal. Number 8, use price comparison websites and apps. We've already mentioned that you need to reduce your smaller expenses because they often add up without you realizing it. One great way to do this is by shopping around for the best price. There are many price tracking websites and apps to assist you with this. For example, when shopping online, you could use Google's Shopping.com or Amazon's Camel. Even when grocery shopping, there are a number of websites you can use. Just keep in mind that these smaller expenses often add up without you realizing. Number 9, use personal finance applications. If building a budget from start seems difficult, or if you aren't sure in your ability to keep track of all your purchases or organize them properly, there are tools available that will make the process much simpler. Personal finance apps like MoneyStrands or Mint, which are both free, are ideal for the job because they show all of your account balances and transactions, track your spending patterns so you can see where you've been going over budget, remind you of upcoming bills, and even keep track of your investment portfolio. Number 10, continue to broaden your understanding of financial management. Perhaps you feel inexperienced when it comes to handling your finances, but keep in mind that even the foremost authorities in the field were once novices. Invest in some personal finance classes. With that, we've come to the end of our list. Which of these tips do you think you'll find the most useful to manage your money better? If you have anything you'd like to add to the list, let us know in the comments. Of course, thanks for sticking with us until the end. You can find free or moderately priced online courses in personal finance that share in-depth advice on how to spend less and save more, manage your money better, and how to invest it. If you're so far from achieving the kind of financial discipline we've been discussing here that you think you'll never be able to achieve it, remember that there are many people in your situation. Start with step 1 and create a budget. Then, you've got to force yourself to take all the steps in it. At first, you might find it difficult, but stick with it and over time it will come naturally. We appreciate you taking the time to visit with us. To ensure you never miss a video, like and subscribe.